What happened? I don't know what happened. What is going on here? Weird. Yo. What in the world? We got problems. Stream just went crazy. Yo, I don't know what happened. That's working fine. I don't know what happened. Oh. Something happened to my stream. Hold on, let me get down here. Yeah, I don't know. It looked I thought my stream locked up on me. Man, what's that all about? Where are you at right now, Jack? I'm yeah, like the whole stream just locked up for some odd reason. My apologies, y'all. I don't know what that all about. That's weird. My apologies, y'all. Something happened to my stream. All right. Let me slow her down. I don't know. Man, I guess having that conversation made the sim mad or something. Now all of a sudden, everything acting weird. Alright, gear's coming down. Man, I don't know what happened. Did it? Because I was looking at the stream, I'm like, it looked like it had just locked up, and so I was trying to reset it in OBS. Oh, I tell you. I don't know what happened.
500.
I don't know where Jack at. Jack, you still out here flying? I lost my buddy. Trying to. Okay, cool. I'm landing right now here at Mike Bravo Alpha Charlie. Okay, Juan. Are you in the Discord? You can just send them to me in the Discord in the messenger. I said I don't know what happened to that last stream. Something kind of just broke out for whatever reason. Oh, so you know what it is? My right camera it locked up on me. Okay. So I am now headed off to $11:27. We'll get up to 2,000 here. We'll go nav mode. Alright. So I'm headed to Mike Bravo Sierra Yankee. Do a little touch and go there at Salt K, and then Grand Turks. So it's 11:27 now. It's 10 minutes to this leg. That puts me at around almost 11:40. Do that one. 11:40. I gotta do Grand Turks. I cannot do Grand Turks. Man, I'm upset about that. Why did my thing just go out all of a sudden? Weird, man. Okay. Jack, where are you head out? Where are you coasting to it? Well, I know I'm nowhere near you. I lost sight of you when the stream started acting funny. Oh, okay. I got you. Oh, you know, in a situation like this, it kind of makes me think too, like, you know, should I go and get do I even deal with another PC for streaming, you know? Because at least in here I could it's a lot easier to manage, you know, all the software and programs and stuff, you know. Versus if it was a streaming and then for some odd reason OBS went down on the streaming PC, I would have to completely leave the sim, and then that's just a disaster. I don't know yet. Oh, yeah, you could do that, Jose. That's right. I've been out of the dual PC game for a while. The last time I tried doing a dual PC setup with this one with a laptop, and that didn't go too well. It was an old laptop. It couldn't handle much of nothing. The last time I did a dual, well, I was actually running 3 PCs on my 4.7 build years ago. So you have a streaming desktop and then the sim desktop. Yeah, I have to hit you up. I don't have another PC at the moment, so everything is running off of this one for now. It's just kind of one of those things where I was kind of thinking, like, you know, is it worth moving the stream over to another PC so that the sim can, you know, this PC can just focus on the sim doing all the old work. See, the only thing about the laptop that I have, man, this thing is so old, like I can't even shoot in 1080p with 3 cameras. It can't handle it. Like that's how bad and old that laptop is. That laptop was from like what? That's a 12-year-old laptop. All right, 9 miles out. Let's start cranking her down. Pretty much coming right into it. So my right camera is on some effery right now. I don't know why. That one's working good, that one's working good, and then that one just, I wonder if that was what was causing the issue. It was, that one was trying to, the one I have run is an old i7 6th gen. Yeah, the laptop I have, that's not even a game. It was like bottom of the barrel basic HP. Was it an HP? I think it was an HP. That thing is bad. That thing is strictly for browsing. All right, let's start slowing this thing up a little bit. Okay. So this is Salt K. Speed checks. Gear is coming down. Lights are coming on. First notch flaps coming in. load up just a little bit right here. Pretty stiff landing, but we made that one out. Here's coming up. And we are off to Grand Turks. Man, this water is beautiful. I just can't get over how gorgeous this water is, y'all. Whoa. Wind almost took me out right there. How's it going, Glenn? Yeah, I was streaming early, and for some odd reason the stream got kind of quirky, so I had to restart the stream all over again. Winds are gusty out here, man. .24 knot crosswind right now. Okay, so we are coming up to Grand Turks. Yep. So after this one, it's gonna be the last stretch over to the DR. Let's get it slowed up here. All right, speed check gear is coming down. Sounds good, Juan. I appreciate you, man. I'll check in with you on the next one. All right. Second notch flaps coming in. Gear is down. Flaps are down.
500.
I got Jack in front of me. Alright, gear down, flaps are down. There we go. Speed checks. Gears coming up. Flaps are up. Alright, and we are off on the final leg, y'all. Gonna stretch this on out. Probably go ahead and climb on up. Get up over this water. I'll probably climb out to about 4,000. I like my 4,000. Okay. Cool. Mike Delta Papa Papa. And we are on our way to the DR. Where we will shut down and go have some cold ones and hang out. See what the DR has to offer. Let's see here. See if I can get my cameras right here. Where's my trying to see if I can get Jack in the thing. I got all my different camera angles. I don't remember how I did them. There we go. I do it every time. Every time I click on that one. And I told myself about that. For some odd reason, that number is connected to something else. Beautiful stuff. Well, I must say this has been an adventurous journey so far. We was actually doing pretty good, and then the stream started acting crazy. If y'all look closely, just above the tail there, you'll see Jack back there, flying high. All right. So we are we got a 24 knot crosswind. This is gonna be pretty lengthy. We got 97 nautical miles. This crosswind is not helping. I'm only doing 140 on the ground right now. Hey, where you going? Get your life together. What's one? There's one. So all in all, like I said, you know, when it comes to these enclosed sim builds, it is a constant battle. You know, oh, for sure, Jack. Man, this is a nice stretch across the water with one engine, for sure. Who was talking about it? I think 4-2 was saying, he was like, I wouldn't want to fly across all this water on a single engine. Because if, God forbid, something happens, you just out here. You know? Like, once you get far enough away from any body of land, I mean, even if you were to climb up to, let's say, 10,000, 12,000, something like that, right? How long can you coast this thing if you lose that motor? Hey, sometimes, Jose, you gotta just, you know, hey, this is what we doing. You got to make her feel like she's a part of it, you know. Then take her for a spin so she can feel it, so then she can understand that this is what it's all about. You can actually fly in the comfort of your own home. Set indicated at 160. That works. I'm actually indicating 160 right about now. My ground, yeah. I'm pretty much right dead on. I'm indicating probably about 158 right now. Ground speed is 160. But them winds are pushing, man. Hey, Jose, man, I totally understand. Hey, it's a process. that is definitely a challenge in this. I think if anything, that might be the biggest hurdle. But little by little, little by little, I got you out there on my right side there, Jack. I see you. Man, y'all, I got an opportunity to build or to have a Lear 45. What y'all think about that? My biggest obstacle, though, is to figure out where to put the thing. Yeah, Learjet 45. So I have a good buddy of mine has equipped me with some blueprints to either build a Learjet 45 shell or possibly pick up a shell, a real shell. I just have to go get it. Oh, that's what's up, Jose. Yeah, we was having a conversation last night about it, and I'm like, man, got my brain turning. I definitely. Well, I'll put it to you this way: the Learjet 45 sim is, I won't say it's already in works, but the blueprint as far as what's the word I'm looking for? As far as creating it and it's coming to pass, that is in the future. Oh yeah, well man, if you see the pictures of the real one, man, it is. And what's crazy is it's like cockpit plus just past, you know, when the door opens on the side, it goes past that. I want to say like maybe one row of seats, and the interior is actually complete. I mean, of course, I don't think that it has like all the avionics and stuff like that. But as far as like the cabinets, the seats, you know, all that stuff, it's all in there. But for me to have that one, you know, it's kind of like I know it can't come in the house. That one definitely can't come in the house. I have no more room in the house. But then I was kind of thinking like maybe I just build like a shed in the backyard, and then I'll just put it in there. Cause see, my ultimate goal altogether, I would like to have my VTEL. Then I would like to get a corporate. So of course, you know, I think the Learjet 45 is definitely where I would like to go next. And then the final set that I would like to have to complete my whole setup is to build another airliner. And that was gonna take some time because I definitely want that one to be kind of really a 1-to-1 scale. I don't know if I would actually, I'll have to build it. I just don't know which one I want to go with. I kind of want to do the 4.7 all over again, because here's my thing, like a lot of, and I get it to a certain degree, because when it comes to airliners, like the two common airliners is either the Airbus A320 or 321, or you do a 737, and everybody has those, you know, which there's nothing wrong with that, you know, by any means. The 4.7 is definitely doable. It's gonna take a lot of work because that's just a big boy. So then I started thinking, well, I've always been a fan of the MD-11, and I haven't seen anybody build one. So I'm like, well, maybe I could build an MD-11, and then that'll, you know, I'll use that one as like more of a cargo versus an airliner, and do like a FedEx or UPS style setup. But yeah, those are my all-time ultimate dreams when it's all said and done. I just want to have a building in the backyard that's big enough to house all three of them, which is definitely doable. Actually, one of my friends crashed in Philly on the 55. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, Jose. My condolences. Man, that's a hard one. Funny thing is, you think you will stop at 3. I think I will, Jack. I think as long as I have my general aviation, I have my corporate, then I got my airliner. I don't think I need anything else outside of that. The only other way I would go outside those three is going like DCS mode and building a fighter. And see, here And here's a funny thought. So I've actually thought about this over the course of many years, and I told myself, if I were to ever go like full out DCS mode on a fighter, I'm gonna look at the empty space and be like, you know, that's probably it. And I would probably use that empty space for a DCS build. But here's the thing with the DCS. Now, if you look at a lot of guys sim, because I do pop into other simmers that do, you know, the fighter style, because I do get a kick out of seeing that. But one thing that I have not seen accomplished yet, and this is where my mind is, and it's always like this. I always try to go outside the box. You know, I try not to walk the straight and narrow like most. I always try to like take the crazy route and see how far I can go with it. So if I were to build a DCS build, right, I would figure out a way, and I already know this sim would actually have to be ran on multiple PCs, because I'm gonna need multiple PCs to run the screens. So what I would want to do is actually build me a completely 360 view around the shell. So I would have, it would almost have to be a either, but see, I don't think I can get away with it with projectors. I might be able to. It'll be kind of hard because then the projectors will be kind of in the way. But what I'm thinking is like, okay, there's gonna be TVs, you know, I'll pretty much have like maybe 4 TVs that goes 360 around the sim, right? And then I would come above the shell, and then I would wrap the top of the shell with TVs. I'll just have to figure out how to bring it all together. A custom video wall. See, and that's the thing, you know, I would have to figure out, like, I would have to do some deep diving into like how, like if you go to Vegas, you know how they do the screen at Fremont, or like the ball or whatever you call that thing, I forget the name of it, and how they're able to display, you know, that screen amongst the whole thing. Like that would probably end up being the hardest one to build, but that would be something I would do. It's either I do that, if I don't go that route, then it would have to be, I would do a full complete 360 motion flight sim. I don't know if you've seen the videos where like you climb in and then like you got complete 360 roll, complete 360 on the pitch as well. I would probably spend the money and get something like that, and then wrap I'll wrap 3. See, I don't even know how I'll be able to do that. I'll have to figure out how to be able to give all 3 screens, because I want to be able to see everything. I don't want to have just one screen in front of me and I don't know where you're at when I'm fighting. I need to see you everywhere, because I am a gangster when it comes to fighting games, man. When I was in the military, we did a TDY to Guam, and it was me, my roommate, and then the other 2 guys, which were our supervisors. They shared, we shared a bathroom in the dorms. And so every weekend, or on days where we have off, it'll be me and my buddy in our room, and then our supervisors in the other room. And I forget what this game was. It wasn't DCS. It was some other type of fighter game. But we all would link up and we would dogfight. Man, let me tell you something. I mean, we would be up to like 4 in the morning dogfighting, like just hours of just getting it. And Yeah, it was cool, man. It definitely it's definitely a challenge. But one thing that I was thinking about even then was like, if I could see where this person, if I could see where he is at on my sides, I could fight better. You know what I'm saying? Because like if you're just looking in front, you see them go by, but you don't know. You know, you can only look at the radar and see where they're at, and now you're really playing off of the limitations of what you see in front of you. I want to see everything like in the real world. So yeah, it's definitely gonna be a challenge to create something like that, but I think I could do it. I'm a very creative person, and I definitely think that I could pull it off. But I would definitely, like I said, I would need a lot of space to house all of these sims. I would even go as far as, like, if I had all these sims built, I would probably go as far as even open it up to the public to a degree, and then just, you know, charge people, you know, so much money to come and fly them. Turn it into a whole business. Who knows? Sky's the limit. It's kind of cool sitting there looking at the DR come into focus, huh? You've been sitting right in the same spot the whole time. That 160 is the mark. Now I think if like you did something like a yes sir, it's coming in. And according to the winds, look like we'll be landing runway 08, which is perfect. Because we could, depending on how, shoot, my landings have been kind of off and on lately. So I'm still learning these new speeds. So sometimes I'll be floating. I want to see if I can. I think I can do it. I want to touch down and get off at Alpha. I mean, but if not, I mean, Bravo is right there. Glenn, so originally, like I said, I was doing approach speeds at 80, 85, and then I've always wanted. It always seems good, like if I cross over the fence at 75 and touch down at 70, that was pretty much my sweet spot. But after reading this thing, it says 90 on the approach, 78 on the short approach. So I'm approaching now at a faster speed, and now it's just a matter of learning how to decrease the speed at the rate from 90 to get it down to 75. Like, I guess, so instead of approaching at 80, 85, I approach at 90. I still want to be over the fence at 75 and then touch down at 70. But where I'm having an issue with right now is being on approach at 90. It's my distance, like my distance to bringing the throttle back, because I'm bringing out the throttle too much, so I'm not crossing the fence at the 75 mark, or I'm crossing over the fence too fast so that by the time, you know, I'm around, you know, 10, 20 feet off the deck, I'm still coming in too fast. And so I think that's the whole reason as to why I'm constantly getting the hops when I touch down, because I'm just hitting the ground too fast. And then if I get it down to like a 75, 70 speed, because I'm trying to correct, like I'm trying to hold that attitude to drop the speed off, then what happens is when I start cutting throttle out, she wants to start lifting up. So then I start doing this up and down motion, and then it's either I'm hitting it hard or I get the bouncy motion. So it's, the Bonanza is a very, very finicky aircraft. Like she flies good, but man, landing is like it's weird. So necessary, anything wrong with the initial approach speed? You're not in any danger speed. You're still over the threshold, which is the most important number at the same speed. That's what I would. Yeah, I think. Yeah. I mean that. Like I said, this is from Bergstrom Aircraft. So this is actually a, I guess in a sense, a real checklist. I mean, it's for a S35 Beechcraft, but they're all pretty much the same. Are trimmed out on approach. Yes, Jack, I am trimmed out on approach. I think I do more trimming than anything. And that's what I'm saying. So it's, and I think not only that, but you know, especially flying out here, these winds are a lot more brutal than, you know, flying in the States or somewhere where, you know, you got 5 knot, you know, headwinds or something like that. I mean, landing with 22, 23 knot headwinds and crosswinds, man, it's, I think that'll be pretty much be hard for anybody to land good, unless, you know, you're a real pilot and you just really know this thing. I'm still learning this thing. Glenn, so this is the V35 Beechcraft Bonanza. Okay, cool. So I'll explain how I do my my crosswinds. So if I'm coming in on a crosswind approach, so let's say I'm landing, so let's see, we're gonna be landing what's this, runway 008. So if I'm landing 08, and let's say the winds are coming out of the north, let's say 340, something like that. So obviously the winds are going to be pushing me to the right, so I'm going to be crabbing into the wind to keep myself aligned. And how I do it, like, I don't know if I'm doing it right, but what I do is I'll crab into the wind to try to keep myself on a more straight path on approach. And as I'm coming into the threshold, and right as I'm about to land, I'll give it some right rudder to kick the tail back straight, so I'm actually landing straight. That's how I do my my crosswind landings. Ailerons into the wind, opposite rudder. Don't be too afraid of too much aileron. Generally, most people under aileron. Even after landing, you need to keep your ailerons into the wind. Normally on start or final, you are crabbing. Then late final, you swap to aileron rudder. Use rudder to keep straight and aileron into the wind. Okay, so that's what I'm not doing. So when and that's something I noticed too, because I'll land and then the wing wants to dip. Keep the aileron into the wind, since it'll stop the wing being lifted up. When in crosswind, you usually land with one main wheel first. Okay. So landing with one main down first is still okay. Well, I mean, I guess in a crosswind situation, you just want to get the thing on the ground safely. You keep the aileron into the wind to prevent the wing being lifted. Okay. Okay. So aileron into the wind. All right. So I'm gonna use rudder still like you've been doing to keep straight. Okay, cool. So my rudder approach is good. It's just my aileron. I'm not. Yeah, because when I'm coming in, I'm kind of going off based off, like I'm looking at how the wings are acting towards the wind, and especially with these winds out here, man, these winds are actually brutal. So it's kind of like I'm constantly like jumping around, and I'm just trying to keep the plane level. So I think subconsciously I'm not really thinking about keeping aileron into the wind. I'm just more so trying to keep the plane level so it doesn't flip me. Also, taking off, you generally keep your ailerons into the wind and then remove it before rotate and be ready with the rudder. Okay. I'm starting to get the hang of the whole rudder thing. Like, I see a lot of. I've been studying the what do you call it? The coordinated turns. Because I hear a lot of people say like you actually use a lot more rudder than you think, and I think what makes it kind of hard to understand that concept is not having. I really feel like having force feedback rudder pedals will give you a better sense of how rudder pedals are actually used in flying. Because when you're just, the only time I really use rudders is obviously for taxiing, and then of course if I'm crabbing, or let's say if I'm doing a slip maneuver, of course I'll use rudder then. But most of the time, like if I'm making my turns, I really don't use rudder that much, and I think that's a bad habit, because the whole purpose of doing a coordinated turn is you're using rudder with aileron. So that's something that I'm working on to really understand, you know, the rudder pedal's purpose within, you know, flying. Let me see. And even taxiing, you keep your ailerons if possible into the wind. Example, headwind straight ahead, left crosswind, left aileron. Okay, that makes sense. Cause this is gonna be. This look like it's gonna be pretty much ahead. Well, the winds are slowing down a little bit. We're down to 18 knots right now, so it's definitely not as bad as the 20 something that we was getting. Does the VTEL have yaw damper? Actually, you know what, Jack? It does have yaw damper. I just haven't. I'm glad you brought that up, because I was looking at the panel when I was rebuilding it, and I noticed that this one actually has yaw damper, and I don't have yaw damper installed. So that might be something that I need to install. That's a very, very important piece. Yeah, those low wing aircraft you're flying, they are very friendly when you don't use rudders properly. Go over to the Cessna 172 and it's very unforgiving. Oh wow. Well, I guess I'll find that out when I get into the 172 floater, because I wanna do some water takeoff and landings during this Caribbean tour. All right, copy that. Going down to 2,000. Yaw damper is only useful for en route usually. Okay. I mean, that's just pretty much, it just keeps keeps the tail from flapping left to right as, you know, as it's flying pretty much, right? Yeah, because if you have yaw damper on with takeoff, that's pretty bad because you don't get full deflection of your yaw, which is definitely not good. Yeah, you want use during landing and takeoff, but for like coordinated turns and stuff, yaw damper will compensate for rudder input. Okay. Yeah, I'm learning this stuff. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be by the time it's time for me to go and do my my discovery flight and start working on my PPL, I'm gonna be a beast at this thing. And that's what I said, and that's another reason why for me. Wait, hold on a second. Let me come off of nav and go into heading mode because we're going straight on. Let me get this thing to the right. I'm going heading mode and get some so I can get set up here. That's another reason as to why I prefer a full out enclosed sim, because when you're hands on and you see everything as it is, as if you're in a real aircraft versus VR, if you were to ever to go and try to get your pilot's license or something like that, you have a better understanding of how everything works and where everything is at, and you know, just the flow and motion of flying a aircraft versus VR. You know, you'll be more like an airliner. You don't really notice when you're turning if you fully coordinated either with your yaw damper or a human being good at coordination. You generally don't feel turning that much when you're in the airliner and your food doesn't go everywhere. Thanks to okay, that makes sense. Yeah, you don't be feeling nothing in the airliner, man. It's just like, it just turns so effortless. Alright. So we are coming in to the DR. I made it. Not in real life, but I finally made it to the DR. This is the closest I've ever been. And I love it. Alright, so welcome to Puerto Plata. I think I said that right. Mike Delta Papa Papa. And we are gonna start slow. Let's see, we're about 145. I guess I can hold that for the time being. We're 2,000. Let's keep descending. Nice out here in the DR. Okay. I will give y'all a show of the right camera, but I think it's still locked up. Let me see. Yep, it's still locked up. Where is the runway? Okay, I see it. All right. Let's work on this here. Let's make this last one stick, y'all. See if I learned something. There's a classic exercise CFIs use when their students aren't using enough rudder, where you have to quickly keep turning left, right, but staying on a straight path. Really notice the difference with that exercise. Keep turning left and right, but staying. Okay. All right. Start rolling her up. Speed checks gear is coming down. First master flaps coming in. Alright, winds have died down. We're about 7 knots right now. Second notch of flaps is coming in. Alright, winds are pretty much down to nothing now. That's pretty good. But winds always get funny right over the treetops though. Alright, so there's 90. So we'll keep it there. Gear down, flaps down. A little high, but we got these trees here too, so I want to make sure I clear those. Start bringing it out a little bit, not too much. Slowly pulling it out. Still a little too fast for my liking. There's 75. I'll take that one, I guess. The treetop turbulence is called mechanical turbulence. Basically bumps and changes in the terrain and uneven heating of the air. Yeah, like it. Is that a? That's a plane taxiing out on Alpha. I'll take it down to Bravo, I guess. Yeah, it gets really quirky, and like I noticed out here in the islands, man, like with the winds as high as they are, it really tosses you around when you come up over those trees. There was wind coming from your left and you got pushed over by a little. Yeah, but and see that's another thing too, Glenn. Like when I was coming in, winds were down to like 2-3 knots. But then as soon as I touched down, the winds picked up to like 7-8, just like that. So how do you counteract for the wind changes like that all of a sudden? I mean, especially like once you hit the ground. Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, winds are pretty much calm. I got it. And then you touch down, and next thing you know, it's slinging you across the runway. All right, flaps up, landing lights off, strobes are coming off. Cow flaps are open. Let's go find a place to park. Let's see here. Y'all save me a parking spot. Jack, you're floating. If you have variable winds, flapless can help. The faster approach speed means you are in the wind less, so less likely to be affected by them. Okay. I don't think I've ever tried a flapless approach. You know what? I might have a scenery. I don't know. I might. I know I was before I started the Caribbean tour. I downloaded a whole bunch of different scenery packages for where I wanted to land. So this actually might end up being one. So how do you land? So you land with no flaps, or you just we'll come over here, I guess. There ain't no parking up there. All these people took all the parking spots. So you just land with no flaps, but you just land at a higher speed? In training, in real life, flapless is common. Glide, short approach, engine idle. Oh, okay. I might test that out on one of these next legs. See how I do with that. Now, can you do a flapless touch and go? Is that something that you could do? Higher speeds on approach. The approach is much harder to see the runway, so you compensate. All right. Well, I would definitely try that out and see how that work with these winds. I mean, because I know there's been a couple of landings so far where, I mean, like I said, the winds were, 20 plus knots, and I mean, I'm coming in with full flaps at like 70, 75, and she is literally just like floating in the air. Like I'm like, I actually have to give it more power to get her down onto the ground. I'm gonna look that up tonight and see what those numbers are. Alright, so after landing, cow flaps are open, flaps are up, transponders on standby, and we're gonna run through this. Avionics is off, lights are off, mixture is out, magnetos is off, power is off. There we go, y'all. Well, cool, we made it to the DR. Couple of issues through this stream. So I gotta chase the bug that was causing the stutters and whatever caused the stream to act funny. And we'll pick this thing back up tomorrow. So for tomorrow, we'll take off from here and we'll just fly the coastal line of the DR. We'll make a few touch and goes along the coast, and then we'll hop over and do some more touch and goes across those areas, San Juan, all that good stuff. And then I will probably shut down either St. Thomas, St. Croix. We'll see how that goes. So that way on Saturday, we can actually start the real fun stuff. So we'll take off from one of those points. We'll hit St. Martin for sure. You know, we'll do the valley. We'll do St. Bart. You know, and we'll start running those islands for Saturday and just see how far we get. If we don't do that whole strip, we'll break it into 2 sections and we'll do the rest of the islands along that area Saturday and Sunday, and then Monday we'll pick up and then we'll start headed back west. So we'll run, you know, the northern coast of South America, work our way through Panama all the way up to Cancun. And I gotta find somewhere around here though, I gotta find me some run water strips, shall I say, so I can get in some 172 float flights. And yeah, so when we all said and done, we'll be landing back in we'll definitely stop over at Key West on the way in too. And then from there we'll head on back into Miami to Opelika, and that'll be it for the Caribbean tour. So that's the plans as of now going forward with this tour. And yeah, that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, apologies again for the stream earlier for kind of breaking out. It's just things happen. And we'll pick this thing back up tomorrow. So if you guys like the stream, hit that heart button. Let me know you like it, you love it, you enjoying this. And we'll continue on the next go around. Ish CardboardSim, and we are signing out, y'all.